relationships. I think that there's a lot more open discussion. I mean, although there is a tremendous increase in the amount of like performative, look how happy we are. Meanwhile, it's like, white teeth and rotting gums. Like we're doing the performative social media. Look at how great, hashtag blessed. And meanwhile, our life is our relationship is rotting from the inside. And we see a lot of that. Like I have to tell you something. I see people in my office who publicly are having the greatest relationships ever. Like if you believe their social media, they are so madly in love. And it shocks me because I think about all the people that are dissatisfied in their perfectly acceptable relationship because it's not as amazing as that relationship. And meanwhile, that relationship is nowhere near that amazing as they'd have you believe it. And we've got the audacity now as a culture that people without any apology, do we're perfectly happy, these hateful rumors that we're unhappy or terrible. And then we've decided to amicably part ways. We asked you to respect our privacy during this difficult time. And you're like, okay, but wait a minute. Like a month ago when there was rumors that the two of you were splitting up, you yelled at all of us for saying it's so mean that we're speculating. And now you're like, yes, we've split up. So we were right. So you were making us feel awful about ourselves and how madly in love you were with each other. But now, we were basing our lives, like we're basing our level of satisfaction on watching your greatest hits while we live our gag reel.
Do you think there's something in the idea that those that endeavor to convince the world that they're happy in their relationships are often not as happy?
100%. I'll actually extrapolate that further. My father's a Southerner, so he has a lot of Southern folksy things he says, and one of them was empty barrels make the most noise. And he used to say that to me when I was a kid all the time. Whenever somebody had something fancy that they owned, because I grew up without a lot of money, and maybe someone would drive a beautiful car, and I'd say, wow, that car's so cool. He'd say, empty barrels make the most noise. That the people that have true joy in their relationship really don't feel like they have to advertise it. People who have I represent some of the wealthiest people in the world. Like New York is the epicenter of commerce and finance for the United States, and to some degree for the world. In the UAE, you're more likely to find a gold-plated Ferrari, but in New York, like finance, Wall Street, like it is the home of it. So I have a client who's worth $8 billion. You would walk past him on the street, you would never know he has very much money at all. He drives a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which is like a very mid-range car. He wears totally nondescript clothing. Like he just looks like a typical middle-aged dude. And you would not look at him and go, like, he gets his hair cut at like Supercuts for $25. Like he's not posh in the things that he owns and does. And he could buy, his income annually is like the gross domestic product of a few countries. And, he's not, and yet I have clients who appear to be incredibly wealthy. And as a divorce lawyer, I get to see the absolutely unfiltered version of people's finances. And I can tell you, they are deeply in debt, many of them. This is particularly true of celebrities. Celebrities have to live these big performative lives. Because if they don't, drive a posh car and they don't wear the latest designer labels, there's this sense of, ooh, are they not doing well? And especially with sort of influencer culture, there's just so much everything everyone's wearing and doing has to be the best of the best and the most expensive. I find very often the more people have to flaunt their wealth, the less wealth they probably have. Money talks, like wealth whispers, and it's very comfortable just whispering. It doesn't feel like it has to prove to the world. In fact, it would rather that everyone not know who it was. There was a time where fame was an unfortunate side effect of talent.
Yo, man, I think James Sexton is he's spitting facts. I think the things he's talking about, we already know this already, right? But it's always good to talk about it more. He's spilling a lot of tea, and which is one of the main reasons why I do not follow celebrities online. There's some people they follow all the celebrities, like insane. You're messing up your head. You're messing up everything about how you view things because it is not just real. Not to say some people don't live a real life, but most of the time, everything is fake online. Majority of it is fake. People who are happy are not talking. Just like Country Wayne said.
People in pain speak louder than people
Exactly. People who are happy, they're quiet, they're doing their thing. That's why there's this trend on Instagram where people will come up. Most of the time, we know the gender. 36, no kids, big house, this. It's all for validation. Like, if you're really happy, why are you telling us? We don't want to know. It's just like men who come and say, I'm an alpha male. If you're an alpha male, it will show. You don't need to tell us. Just like people who come and say, I'm smart. Dude, if you're smart, it will show. So I think that people who always come online and talk about their, like, and not everyone, but majority of the time, people who have to say it, they have to say it because they need validation for it. And they have to act it out, and they need the opinion from other people to validate how they really feel or how they want to feel. So, man, in your relationships, just like my man James said, just do you, create your own and follow your own. Because if you're comparing yours to another person online, you might be surprised to find out that that person's real life is worse than your little small happy life that you think doesn't measure up to theirs. So, man, I think James said a lot of good stuff there. We already know this, but it's always good to remind people, man, that your life is great. As long as it's not, don't compare it with what you're seeing online, your marriage or relationship. I used to know someone who used to basically say, if you're not posting me online, it means something is going on. Or like maybe you're cheating or something is going on. For someone whose presence online is mostly business and who online doesn't validate how you feel, it's never going to work. You have to understand, some people, they need that thing from online, from social media. And it's always fake. Like he mentioned there, empty vessels make the loudest noise. That's an African saying as well. Empty vessels, they always make the loudest noise because they want to be heard. So, yeah, man, wealth is quiet. Greatness is quiet. You feel the presence. They don't talk too much. They allow other people to blow their trumpet. Full chest, man. Subscribe to the channel, guys.